All right, last question for this week says, during my training week last week, I was programmed to do 4 reps on my competition bench, and then when I got to my top set, I performed 3 reps, took a 10-second rest, and then performed the last one. The last rep is not videoed. Then she goes through a couple other scenarios where something similar happened. Having attempted these weights, done these weights before, uh, you know, stops after the 3rd rep, rests for 10 seconds, and then completes the last rep. Um, Apparently this happened, 2 or 3 times last week. And it says these are all weights that I've performed with those reps before, but I felt weaker than usual this week, and I'm wondering if performing some of my sets like rest pauses the way that she did is okay, and since I didn't want to reduce the weight. Um, I would rather you not do that, and here's kind of my thinking why. I would rather you reduce the weight on the bar so that it fits your capability. When we have you perform a set of 4, it's not necessarily the same training effect that you would get if you did a triple and then a single. It's not the same training effect that you would get if you did 4 singles. The overall stress is different, and if you're unable to do 4, like say it's 4 reps at a 9 RPE, and if you select a weight where you're unable to do 4 reps at a 9 RPE, now it's the wrong weight on the bar as well. It's basically not the same training effect, and it's going to be disruptive from, an overall periodization standpoint, and it's going to be disruptive from a stress management standpoint. So, you know, if it happens, if, you pick a weight and you feel like you can do it, but you only get 3 reps instead of 4. First of all, that shouldn't be a thing that happens very commonly, especially if it's 4 reps at a 9 RPE, then you should see some of those changes as you're working up. And if you're quite a bit weaker on the day, I could see, you do 4 reps and it's really a 10 RPE instead of a 9. That stuff happens, and that's okay. But if you're way off, like a triple at a 10 RPE, then that's a bit more problematic. We ought to see that during the workup and make some adjustments. That's how the RPE system is supposed to function. Um, if it does happen, you only do a triple instead of 4. I don't want you to do another set to come back and get that missing rep. That additional set is going to add a lot more fatigue than that single repetition is worth. Okay, so from a fatigue management standpoint, I would rather just take what you can get and you do the sets that you're supposed to do, but don't add extra sets. Ross, anything that you want to add to that?
No, I think that covers it. I'd agree.
Okay.
I'd agree wholeheartedly with all of that.
All right.
Really, you gotta be able to lift within your ability, and sometimes that means taking weight off the bar. As much as we don't ever want to do that, but it's also about quality of reps, not just weight on the bar.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with you there. Um, yeah, I mean that's kind of the intent behind the RPE system is that you've got to adapt the plan to fit what you're capable of on that day. That's why the workups are arranged the way that they are, and so on. So, yeah, if you have any follow-up questions on that, make sure to send them in. But thanks for sending that question.